mystery of Beth Ann Bodenschatz. In 1996, a woman by the name of Beth Ann Bodenschatz. She was married to Michael Bodenschatz. They had 4 children. They lived in New Germany, Pennsylvania. She worked at Lee Hospital in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which is about 15 miles from her home. And it was a few miles from Evansburg, her home, that is. Particular day, it was January 12th, 1996, okay? It was a Friday. 3 of her 4 kids were in school. 1 of her kids was still home. He wasn't old enough to be in school yet. Now this Friday morning, she was home with her young boy, and there was an intruder. There was an intruder that came into the home on January 12th, 1996. The intruder came in, from what we understand, there was an incident where there was a confrontation. There's an intruder, there's the homeowner, there's a confrontation. That confrontation started in the kitchen, then went down the hallway and into Beth Ann's bedroom. Okay. From what we understand, the man had a .40 caliber Glock. And of course he used that to get the upper hand on Beth Ann. Okay? I think Beth Ann, tried to get away from the man. She ran down the hall and into the bedroom. Well, the man followed her, and there were some shots fired, 4 to 5 shots, but one of them managed to kill Beth Ann. Okay? Now, the motive for the intruder is not known, although a diamond ring was taken from the residence. Now, what would be the motive for the intruder to come into the home? Most people would think it would be for a robbery, okay? But the only thing that was taken was a diamond ring. This guy didn't take anything but a diamond ring. That makes me believe that it could have been personal. It could have been a personal attack on Beth Ann. Now, the Bodenschatzes weren't known to have any enemies. So what would be the motive for the intrusion? Now, I do know that they do have money, okay? But, like I said, the only thing that was taken was a diamond ring. Now, this diamond ring may have significant value, okay? There was a couple carats, okay? It was a couple carat ring, and the value could have been a couple thousand all the way up to like $20,000. Now, if that is the case, maybe that was the motive for the intrusion. But to murder somebody over a diamond ring, this happened in broad daylight. This happened in broad daylight, in the morning to afternoon. But her 3 kids, 3 of her 4 kids, came home early on that Friday. They got home about 2:30, and they found their mother, as you can imagine, dead in the bedroom. Now those kids, all 4 of them, lost their mother at a young age. Now, I don't know if you guys know the band Anthrax. But I used to listen to Anthrax when I was younger, and I still kind of do today, but not as much as I did back then. They had a song that used to haunt me. It was called In My World, and some of the lyrics are, excuse me, my greatest fear as a kid, one which I always kept hid, was to come home from school and find my mother dead. Now, this was a fear that I had as a kid, okay? I would go to school and I would come home, because when I lost my dad years ago, when I came home from school, that's when I got the news, okay? So I guess that lived with me for all them years, and so I really feel for them kids, okay? I really do. Like most people should, right? But when I did hear that, that song popped in my head, and you know, I really just can't imagine not only finding out your parent is dead, but to find their body. Now that's those kids are going to be traumatized for life for that. Okay? Now, whoever this guy did, I'm sure he's free out there. I'm sure that he's a free man and he's loving his life. But eventually he's going to pay for it. But, back to the story. I digress, Michelle. I digress. The 5-year-old boy got a look at the man, and he described him best as he could. He said he was a Caucasian man with brown hair, wearing a brown coat, and some of the neighbors saw a brown or tan Subaru parked in the driveway that really shouldn't have been there, so they theorized that that was the man's car. And a lot of people say, well, when you heard all them gunshots, why wouldn't you just call the police? Well, you got to remember, this is a rural setting, not far off from deer season. And in a rural setting like this, gunshots aren't out of the ordinary, okay? It's pretty typical to hear gunshots in a rural setting. So neighbors probably didn't even think anything of it, not knowing that someone's being murdered as these gunshots are going off. Everything, I mean, this case is still an unsolved mystery. There was another incident, though, that happened in the same year. There was a burglary at the same residence, and some of the outbuildings there was an attempted break-in on them, too. And the police don't know if the two incidents are tied together, if it's the same individuals or individual. So if it was the same individual, he got away twice. But if you see where this home is located, and I'll show the video, it's in a pretty rural setting, and there's a lot of woods behind the home. So the location's kind of like very enticing for unsavory people to do nefarious acts. It's unfortunate. People see a nice home and an opportune location, and they want to try to assert their nefarious ways onto these individuals, and unfortunately someone was murdered. Now, whether she was home when she shouldn't have been, according to the intruder, maybe he broke in not knowing that there was somebody home, and because he wasn't wearing a mask, right? So he just broke in and Or actually, I don't know if there was a break-in. He might have just walked right through the front door. Might have been unlocked. And maybe he said, "Give me your ring," and she refused, and she ended up losing her life over it. I mean, all the details are pretty much not known public, so I can theorize that maybe that's what happened. Somebody might have saw her at work or in the community and decided that they wanted that ring because it had a lot of value. But like I said, you broke into the house or entered the home because you wanted a ring that had a lot of value. But why did you only take the ring? There could have been many other things you could have taken. It makes you really wonder, or did this guy, when he shot her, did he just, oh crap, I better get out of here, and left? But he took the ring off of her finger. I'll bet you. Bet you he took that ring right off of her finger when he killed her. Because it makes more sense that he did. Because if he would have went into any other room, or even that room, and just happened to find a ring, why didn't he take anything else? He just happened to see a ring laying there that would have been on her finger. He took it off of her finger, and he left. Beth Ann wouldn't give up that ring because it meant too much to her, and she died for that love. She died for that love. Another thing I say, cameras, cameras, cameras. You can never have enough cameras. This guy got away with something in 1996 that he might not get away with in 2024, because most people have cameras. And most people would catch you. You came to the house twice, and got away twice. 2024, you're not getting away. People that have money typically have cameras to protect their investment. Okay guys, up here on the left is the Bodenschatz home. Now you can take a look around and see what the neighborhood looked like, how far or close the neighbors' homes are, or the Subaru would have been parked in this driveway here. You can see the outbuildings, you can see the woods around the home. Okay, now there was an extensive search for that Glock 40 cal. I believe it was behind the home in this wooded area back here. Okay, they never did find that murder weapon. Okay. Okay guys, that's all I have on this video. We have another unsolved mystery here. The name is Beth Ann Bodenschatz, not Bodenschatz. I keep saying Bodenschatz, and I apologize for that. It's Bodenschatz. And that's all I have on this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next episode.